What's up, guys? My name's TechnoTuner, and today I'm bringing to you my Swordsoul Tenyi deck. We're going to be doing a couple test hands with it, just to show you what the deck can do. Of course, this deck likes to go second, so we're going to do 2 test hands going second, just so we could show how we could break the board and build our board. And then we're going to have a going first hand, just to show you what the board can, or what the deck can establish as a going first board. So let's go ahead and hop right on into it, and I'll explain a little bit more as we go. So this deck is a lot of fun to play, is definitely one I would recommend for newcomers for this game. It's super simple, has a single, not a single, but it has simple play lines in which you can run through and basically build your board while also breaking your opponents. The upgrades for this deck is super affordable, and be able to actually play it in a locals is more likely than you would think. So, let's go ahead and take a look, see what our first hand will be. We got Swordsoul Moye, Tenyi Spirit of Ashuna, Incredible Ecclesia the Virtuous, another Incredible Ecclesia, a Heavenly Dragon Circle, and then a Vessel for the Dragon Cycle. So this is what we can do going first. So we're going to assume that our opponent has more monsters than we do, of course, because they're going to set up an actual board. We'll go ahead and special summon Ashuna and link it off. This way we can go into our link 1 and be able to start our plays from here. Next, what we can do with this hand is we have the choice of either normal summoning or special summoning a card, special summoning Ecclesia or normal summoning Swordsoul Moye. We don't have to do either just yet, because we're going to activate Vessel of the Dragon Cycle, bait out the Ash. If they have an Ash or a way to stop us, they can, but in this case we're going to look at as they can't. We're going to send a Worm from our deck to the grave. So we're going to send a Vishuda and then add us a Tenyi monster with a different name. So we'll add us an Ashuna. Or actually, we'll add Saruya. We'll next go ahead and special summon our Ecclesia, since we only have one monster on board. Ecclesia has the effect we can tribute her and special summon another Tenyi monster. But right now, we're going to go ahead and normal summon the Moye, just so we can see what we can do. We'll do Moye effect, reveal Saruya. So we'll reveal this, and then we'll get a Swordsoul token. In this case, we're going to go ahead and use... Well, didn't get that far. Well, we're going to use one of the coins as a token. So, we'll next then special summon Saruya, allowing us to get another tuner monster onto the board. We'll go ahead and then take Swordsoul Moye and the token and go directly into our Swordsoul Shishao. Grandmaster Shishao will be our effect 1 in the chain, Moye chain 2. So it'll be chain 2 first, so Moye to allow us to draw a card. We draw into the other Moye. And then the second effect would be for us to add a card, which will add Long Wan. We'll next go ahead and activate Long Wan by special summoning it by discarding Swordsoul Moye and summoning a token. We'll next take these two, make another monster, and go directly into our level 10. We can do Ixing Longwan if we really want to do burn damage, but the other option that we can do is go into Shinging, just to do bigger damage for the board if we decide to. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and activate Ecclesia effect, tributing it to summon us a Swordsoul Taya. Swordsoul Taya effect, we can then banish one Swordsoul card from our graveyard. We'll banish a Moye to then get us a token. We'll take that token and the Taya and go into Boxia allowing us to further bounce a card, or if we're going for more damage, we'll actually hold off on that. We'll go for the Boxia play because it's going to allow us to bounce 2 cards on the board, and Taya is going to let us foolish another worm that we don't want to really see in our hand, but we can use later on. We'll go ahead and send Adhara so we can get a recovery back. Next, we'll go ahead and banish the Ashuna. There's a reason why I didn't go into the Tenyi Spirit Moldahara, and you'll see as to why here in a second. We're going to banish the Ashuna to summon a Shinthana. Then we could take Saruya and Shithana and go into a level 8 play here, which is Moldahara. This card has the capability of adding us a field spell from our deck to our hand. I don't run the field spell currently. However, you can pick that up and run it if you'd like. However, while non-effect monster is on the field, it cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. It can make a second attack during the battle phase, which opens up a lot of the board. So what we can do here is still combo off and go further up the chain with all these effects. Because Saruya lets us special summon the Link monster if we didn't already have Longwan there, but it doesn't really matter. But since we special summoned a worm, we get to draw 1 off of Longwan's effect. We could have done this back when we'd summoned Boxia, but in this case, since I forgot, we'll go ahead and do it now. So we have an Infinite Imperm for turn. We have a Heavenly Dragon Cycle for recovery if somebody wants to interact. So we can tribute one of these and then use their effect for Heavenly Dragon Cycle to then add a worm monster from our deck to our hand, or if we're tributing the Monk of Tenyi, special summon it, but its effects are negated. In this case, we're going to also banish the Vishuddha to bounce a face-up card on the field, and then we'll banish the Adhara to add us back either an Ashuna, a Vishuddha, an Adhara, or a Swordsoul Moye. In this case, we'll add Moye back to our hand. So right there, we already have capability play for next turn as well, while also being able to burn for 1200 if our opponent activates a monster effect or a spell and trap. So they would take 1200 for either or. Boxia allowed us to bounce. Grandmaster Shishao allowed us to actually gives us an interactable negate. And Moldahara is a 3k beater. That's all I got for the test hand 1 for going second the first time. Let's see what we can do for another going second hand. Alright, for our going second hand, for the second test hand, we got Tenyi Spirit Adhara, Tenyi Spirit Vishuddha, Vessel for the Dragon Cycle, Swordsoul Moye, Tenyi Spirit Saruya, and then for our final draw, another Tenyi Spirit Vishuddha. So what we can do here is special the Vishuddha, then link it away, go into our link 1, which is the Monk of the Tenyi. We'll next activate Vessel of the Dragon Cycle, allowing us to add a Ashuna. We'll next special summon the Ashuna and normal summon the Moye. Well, actually, we won't special summon the Ashuna. There's a reason why I'm doing this. We're going to walk it back a couple. So instead of doing that, so there's a reason why I'm going to do this. We're going to go ahead and special summon the Adhara because we can use this as a tuner later on and use this as an effect later on to trigger Longwan. We'll next normal summon Moye, reveal the Ashuna. So we get a token back. So what we can do here is take Moye and the token, go into Shishao like normal. So we'll go into Shishao effect, and Moye effect, Moye to draw 1, and Shishao to get us a Longwan. We'll next go ahead and go Longwan, special summon, pitching the Tenyi Spirit of Ashuna. to get that token, we're going to go into a level 10 with the Longwan and the Vishuda, or the token, and go into Changing. Changing is going to be our big boss beater for today, in which it's going to allow us the capability of furthering breaking our opponent's board. But we don't want to forget Longwan's effect, like I did in the first game, where we're going to burn it for 1200 since it was sent to the graveyard as a synchro summon material. So, from here, what we can do is if we want to be locked further into worms, since we're just going for straight damage, what we can do is banish the Ashuna to special summon another card. We'll go ahead and special summon from our deck a Synthana, because I didn't I forgot I drew into the other Vishuda. We'll go ahead and activate Sacred Summit to revive back the Vishuda. And then what we can do here is take these two, go directly into our Boxia. Then we can special summon the Saruya and synchro off with these two into a level 8 worm. We'll go into the Draco Berserker of the Tenyi. Now note that since Boxia was summoned using two different types of monsters, a Dark and an Earth, we can bounce 2 cards. So we'll bounce those 2 since it's synchro summon. And then when this is synchro summon, we just have a banishable, or a monster that can allow us to banish a monster on the field, or a monster when it activates its effect. And this card, when it destroys an opponent's effect monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, it gains attack equal to the destroyed monster's original attack and can make a second attack. So we're basically already bounced back 2 cards. We're going to bounce back a third one here by banishing the Vishuda. And then we're going to trigger Changing, since a card was banished now, to banish 1 card on the field and 1 in their graveyard. So we've already broken down 4 cards off the field and 1 out of the graveyard. If you were playing the Link 4, this would be a good one to go into Saruya. If you place Boxia over here, allowing you to summon the Link directly to the Monk of Tenyi, giving you another 3k beater. Overall, this is what the deck can currently do. I'm still waiting on a couple cards so I can further upgrade it, but either way, this would still be enough for lethal damage if you were going against a normal board and being able to break the board apart. But let's go ahead and see what the deck can do going first. Alright, let's see what we get for going first. We get Tenyi Spirit Synthana, Tenyi Spirit Adhara, Swordsoul Blackout, Swordsoul Moye, and Tenyi Spirit Ashuna. Let's go ahead and break it down to what we can do. So we're first going to special summon the Ashuna, link it away for that Link 1. So we'll go ahead and get the Monk of Tenyi on board so we can continue our plays. We'll next special summon the Adhara. Adhara is just going to be an extender for later on. We'll next normal summon Swordsoul Moye to then reveal a Swordsoul or a worm in hand. We'll reveal the Synthana because we want the Swordsoul Blackout to be unknown still. And then we'll get the token. We'll next take Swordsoul Moye and the token and go directly into Shishao. Shishao effect will allow us to add a card, and Moye will allow us to draw one. So we'll draw one first and then add a card. We will go ahead and add in this case, we're going to want to add, if I can find it, the Swordsoul Sacred Summit. We will next special summon Longwan by pitching Synthana to get another token. And we'll take the token in Longwan, burn for 1200 while we synchro summon into our Swordsoul Sinister Sovereign Ji Longwan. We'll next go ahead and activate Ashuna in Graveyard since we control a normal monster. Take him and go into Vishuddha. We'll next go ahead and then do Vishuddha and Adhara into Boxia. Now, I know we're not going to be able to really bounce anything at this point, but there's a reason why we're going to do this. We'll next activate Swordsoul Sacred Summit, reviving the Adhara, synchroing with these two, and going into our Xiaofeng Phantom of the Yang Xing. This card basically makes it to our opponent cannot special summon anything that is a light monster for their turn, so this will help us out greatly. Next, we'll go ahead and set the Swordsoul Blackout. Because we have Synthana in the graveyard, we can revive our Monk of the Tenyi after activating the Swordsoul Blackout, which can help us out a lot in plays. But also, since we Synchro Summoned a Worm, we get to draw another card, and we have a Nibiru for hand in case they ever break our entire board, and they've summoned over 5 times. So we have capability of playing again next turn. So, even though this was a very short test hands, I am sorry if I went too fast. This deck has a lot of capability of going very wide, not setting up the very same boards every time, but you have a lot of capability for locking down, burning your opponent for more damage and setting up effect negation, while also having the capability of breaking your opponent's board. This deck is a lot of fun, as I've stated in the previous video and in prior test hands during this video. I would definitely recommend this for any newcomer to pick this deck up. It's super cheap, super fun, super easy to learn. With minimal effort, you can learn this deck in and out, and it takes a really good pilot for this deck to see success at a regional or YCS level, especially now given the whole K9 scenario. But either way, this deck is still a lot of fun. If you guys would like to see more videos like this, please go ahead and leave a like and subscribe so I know what kind of content to further create for this channel. Until next time, guys, I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.
Is it okay if I'm to say I'm catching feelings from all the dealings? Am I astray? What do you say? How are you feeling? Is it the same?